Welcome to Devin, Dane, Dunwoody. This is Lance Dunwoody. We're going to do part 2 of our interest survey that we started last week. On the mic is going to be Devin Blocker, Eric, Dane Braley, and myself. We're going to be discussing a few other things, including what our favorite music is, and kind of breaking down what we plan on doing next week. So hopefully you enjoy the episode.
Earlier we were talking about G Gundam, and we were trying to figure out the last name of the pilot of Bolt Gundam, because his first name is Schwartz. His first name is Schwartz, and we were thinking it's Bruder because that's German for brother and stuff and things. Why is it not coming up with his name?
Is it something racist?
I don't know. It's giving me Vulcan guns and everything other than his name.
Just find pilot.
That's what I did.
Type in the word
pilot.
pilot.
Here's more. Crew, pilot. Doesn't even say his name. Neo-Russia.
Oh, no, you want...
Operator.
You want Neo-Germany. Neo-Germany.
Known pilots. Argo Golsky.
Yeah, that's...
We were completely wrong.
That Neo-Germany was his brother. Argo Golsky is the guy with the iron ball stuck to his leg.
I'm confused. You know what?
No, the luchador, the Mexican luchador. Or the German luchador, German flag luchador.
I don't know. We're going to skip it. Okay, so favorite board game. We're going to go with that. And I'm going to say my favorite board game is probably going to have to be... Oh, what's that game with Volcano and the marble?
Fireball Island.
Fireball Island.
Yeah, they just remade that.
Yeah, I know. That was just a cool game.
Nice.
Either that or it's Mousetrap. One of those two. Because they were just cool.
Oh, nobody had a working mousetrap, dude.
My cousin did,
you know
but
what?
that's because she was...
Yeah.
Oh, my cousin had
And it was broken
My
shortly
dad
after
works
you
for
got a hold of it.
Nintendo. They're both lies.
It's not a lie.
It's a lie. Nobody.
I work for Nintendo. I play their games and I give them feedback.
Yeah?
No.
Alright then.
I mean, I give them feedback, but this game sucks.
Yeah,
Are they going to listen to me?
me?
Probably not. Do they listen to the most of their employees anyway? Probably not.
Yeah,
I feel...
That's why they didn't change anything from Dragon Ball Xenoverse to Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
They added a 2 to
They added
We are way
things
off
to it,
topic.
yes. No, actually we're not.
Okay,
It's still
okay.
favorite video game.
Oh
But,
my god!
But we can move on to the next question. I don't even know whose it is anymore.
I think it's me, but I feel like
You
there's...
asked about the board games, didn't you? Or Devin?
No, that was
That was
Devin!
mine.
Oh my god!
We have like 40 minutes of you two assholes arguing about Gundam.
That's probably true.
That
Maybe
needs to
we
be
should make...
just its own subset.
This is
We're gonna
not a
have to
Gundam
start-
podcast.
I
Yeah.
refuse. I will stand up and walk away.
Okay, fine. So we're gonna start talking about Gundam build fighters then.
Oh, that's just your podcast.
Oh, okay. That's
Enjoy your
fine.
own OC.
I like original characters, so anything that I can make an original character in, those are games I like to play.
See,
As far as
so
video
So he
games
likes
go.
he likes wrestling games because
No.
they create a wrestling mode.
not wrestling games.
That's the only
though.
thing I like about wrestling games. Is create
That's the only thing that's been
Fair.
good about wrestling game in like 20 years.
Yeah,
Right?
What do you
Christ,
want?
the software is so crap.
I love it when my game falls apart in the middle of me playing it. Hey, maybe we should use this Aki engine that we own the rights to. Nah, just make another
I
crappy
watched my
one.
nephews play one, and like the characters are like glitching into each other. I was like, this looks worse than my old Sega games.
That
This is crap.
That one Best Friends episode where they do the ladder match and they stall out. I think it's 2K14 or 2K15.
Oh, the 2Ks were terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, WWE 2K. I want to say it's like 2K15. They stall out because they have a ladder match. And there's one point where like someone pushes the ladder over and gets stuck in the ropes, and then the guy's jumping off the ladder, and you see him like the character models like don't move. They just like flash at each other. It's like two kids like bashing them together like this. And then they both fall into each other, and they're outside the ring, inside the ring. Eventually, they land inside the ring next to where the ladder fell. It's great. It's great. They just
Collision errors.
Ridiculous.
enjoy our crappy game that's falling apart. Ugh. And it takes forever to load on like a,
Oh my
a
god.
modern console.
Yeah, no, the 2K
Trash.
series might have been some of the worst games I've ever seen put out.
Yeah, it's trash.
And also, unfortunately, that same engine was used for some of the MMA fighting games and stuff like. Just that whole general era of games.
Those UFC, there was
better.
one good UFC game, and it was way back on like when Dreamcast was a thing. So
see, again, we had to go back to like early gen modern consoles.
Oh, I know, right?
And they weren't using the Aki engine for that either.
Yeah.
And Tony Hawk Pro Skater was the best skateboarding game. Still is probably.
I'd say of all the Pro Skater games, I'd say right before Tony Hawk Underground.
I want to say like 2 or 3.
4 is my favorite. 2 was good because they brought the manual in 2, and 3 was really good because they did something else in 3. But I think 4, like they combined all the elements just right, and I like the soundtrack too. Maybe it was 3.
Soundtracks are good.
They're all good soundtracks.
Yeah.
So
I didn't play Beyond 2, so I played.
The only one I stopped playing at Downhill Jam because Tony Hawk Underground 2 was horrible.
So going on with questions here real quick.
All right, yeah. Go
Okay.
Shoot.
And I already know the answers to these. I think honestly, if I can do this, I'm gonna throw this out here and see if I'm right or wrong. I'm gonna override asking you and just doing it. I had a question saying, "What is your best film series?" And I believe I can go. I know for myself it's Godzilla. So we're just gonna cut the crap.
You're gonna try and guess ours?
Yeah, but I already got this. What is the best film series for you?
Film series. Okay.
It's got to be Star Wars for Devin. The
Yeah.
Star Wars series of films.
Yeah.
Regardless if you like one episode better than the other, I think overall that's your life.
Overall,
and for
Star Wars,
Lance, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to go Indiana Jones. Sans, I know number 4 rubbed you wrong, but I know Indy's like big on your heart, baby.
I have a lot of
Or am I
nostalgia
wrong
for
on that
Indy.
one?
As far as like series goes, what else they turned to a series?
Film series.
Batman, maybe. I don't know. I didn't like.
Like
I
the
only
Batman Begins trilogy.
I can't even say that because I like the second. I like the second one and the first one. Like it's not even.
Is there a
it's
film
not
series?
fair.
Yeah, no, it's the whole series.
The whole series, not just
yeah.
one episode,
Yeah,
but
it's
the
not
thing
even
overall.
fair. Yeah, I guess I'd say indie. That's fine.
I feel
Because I can't think of anything else.
okay.
right now.
Well, and like I said, I'm sorry it was such a quick question, but like mine are so goofy, so I just wanted to cut the bullshit and get that.
Yeah.
But no, okay, so I'm gonna go to a different question. So sorry I'm doing 2 in a row.
Oh, no, that's cool.
I'm trying to get content.
Maybe that's what our podcast should be in the future is one specific topic.
No, it's gonna happen later.
Okay, so real quick question.
We're getting time to research.
Because I need to know what your guy... Okay, because again, we're trying to learn about each other here. This will give, if anybody actually starts following us, this will give them ammo against us. Pet peeves.
Oh my gosh, fuck you.
I just want to put that gun on the table with a bullet in it.
Oh, G Gundam.
That's a good pet peeve.
Pet peeve.
My pet peeve is repetition. So, like, if you ask me the same question... you guys have been experiencing this all day today.
My
You've
pet
been
peeve...
accelerating half the time. Like when we first got down here to set up for the podcast. Why no electricity?
Where's the electricity?
Why no electricity?
Yeah, guys,
Because they're fucking not.
We're filming in something I've never seen before. A basement without insulation. I shouldn't
That's
say
an
the insulation.
unfinished basement.
Okay, I've never heard of a fully unfinished basement before in my life.
You should have seen it
You
before
know
I
my dad.
put up the...
I'm sorry. Okay,
Stop.
I'm sorry. Okay, most of my homes have had wheels and didn't even have lucky enough. Some of us weren't lucky enough to have basements.
You're privileged to
Fair
have
enough.
wheels on your home.
Yeah, because then you
Well,
can
you know what?
just
They
back
didn't
up
save
over
our house. And the tornado came. I by the way, it's probably not funny to some people. I've never had a tornado touch my house. A tree did save my house during 100-mile-per-hour winds. A 100-foot tall tree came crashing down, boy, ripped my house in half. And we had a dead tree. We were too lazy to move. The crook of the tree was
Saved
1
it.
foot over our house, caught the 100 feet of tree, and the tree snapped and just bent one little corner on my roof, and it all fell in my yard.
So now you just left it up there and you
Oh,
painted
no,
too?
no. We left that tree up for years until it finally fell over from rot. Because, well, that and I'm sure the impact probably shattered its inside.
Oh, yeah.
No, we were like, that tree stays. It earned its right. It saved my house.
We turned it into a bunch of baseball bats.
So pet peeve is when people use the wrong term?
I think using the wrong terminology typically it kind of gets me off because then it's like you have to go back and reaffirm what you're actually saying, and just you take time away from like the actual conversation. And part of it's like 9 times out of 10 when someone's saying something wrong,
It's unintentional.
it's unintentional.
It just misleads conversations.
It's easy to take a conversation down the wrong track when you're saying something, because then someone who is trying to follow you is either unaware of what you're talking about because they know the topic at hand, or they become just as confused about what they're talking about.
Okay.
Repetition is my pet peeve. And
That's my pet peeve.
Yeah.
Stop it.
For me, a pet peeve is from the professional end, especially in the world of being a comic shop owner and manager and worker. I cannot stand the stereotypical nerd arguments. I hate Star Wars versus Star Trek. I hate Kirk versus Picard. I hate, and there's a few people who get biased on these with me because it's just become the running joke.
yeah,
But Marvel versus
like those
DC,
guys.
like the brothers and I would always have.
Yeah.
God, rest his soul, but
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean. But
He could get under your skin something fierce, and it was hilarious.
Well, his brother
His
still
grandmother.
can't. His brother still. And sorry, folks, we're not saying names just because. But
Out of respect to them.
those who are listening, you know who we're talking
Yeah,
about.
you'll know immediately.
I think it's great. You just pick it up and run with it, man. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no, I hate those, and that also falls under the category of, okay, so like you guys have known me forever. Without being, fluff my feathers. Toy and game expert has been my life. I've been self-employed for 20 years off of selling toys and games. So I have friends in the industry, and I'm not going to name drop here. Would love to, but I'm not going to name drop. But there are people who will come up and be like, what you need to understand about Transformers, and I'm like, cool. Now we're going to stop here. This is literally my life. I made an employment. Like, we're talking to a guy who had it. I don't think you ever got to see the cave, my old house. But I mean, I had half of a trailer house completely filled with nothing but Transformer goods. One half of every Transformer ever made.
Only half of each Transformer.
Yes, that's it. No, there are people who've been that dumb. There have been people that dumb. Why would you only have every toy? I'm like, okay, if there were 10,000 Transformers, individual Transformers made in every country in the world, I had 5,000 of them. In this case, I had like 1,200 odd robots. I had 5,000 robots full in my collection, 50,000 pieces. Okay? And there'll be people who come up like, you don't know what you're talking about. And like, there's a point where, and this is without going into politics, this falls in anywhere, there are people who are just like, I know what I'm talking about, and it's like, you need to shut the hell up and listen to those of us who... Sorry, Lance has a drinking problem.
You okay? You got a hole in your mouth.
Hole in your lip, boy. And there's just, so my pet peeve there is people who are like, I know better than you. It's like, okay, it's like our boy down at DD. I've seen people argue Magic with him, like, guys, stop. The man's like, I think the highest level judge in the state, and like, I'm like, and I'm pretty sure if he wanted to play, and there's every time, and this is a pet peeve. It's like people would be like, I could beat him any day. I'm like, I think if he's like bored, sure, with one of his crap decks, I was like, this man could have been a pro easily, if he wanted to, but that's not his thing. He likes running a shop. But you watch people argue Magic with him. Now, you can have philosophical conversations. Me and Ham have. But if he's like, this is how this is in Magic, I would have been like, all right, I'm not going to argue with you because you know this.
The thing is, like, when you know the rules to a game like that, then it kind of like becomes like a philosophical thing. You're like, this rule says this, but it should say this. And he's like, you're right, it should say that. But because X, Y, and Z person judged it this other way, this is how we have to see it. And it becomes like a legal thing.
So that becomes my pet peeve so that's my pet peeve is just
and that's
people who just...
Like I've had to argue points, like when I was trying to become a judge, I had to argue points just to try and better understand. I was learning from a level 2 judge because that's how it's got to be rolled. And I was like, so this, and this, but it says this, period. He's like, yeah, but if you look at this, then it's... I'm like, I guess.
A lot of that's good precedent. But I that's kind of where like my pet peeve comes in too, is like it's too easy for someone who acts like they know something to go and be like, oh, this Z person doesn't know, so I can pretend to make up.
I'm the best player you've ever seen. How many times has you... working at a card shop heard,
I'm pretty good.
My deck's never been beaten, and you'd be like, yo,
Yeah.
Put
Oh,
this game
yeah.
in place.
Remember that time when he took out that pre-con deck and he won that Friday Night Magic?
You fucking won a Friday Night Magic with a pre-con $10
It wasn't even
deck.
was it even a good one?
No,
I think no.
It was
I thought
devotion. It was the devotion one.
average.
It was
yeah.
the okay devotion one. Back in
That was
Ravnica.
back in Ravnica era. Ravnica or Kamigawa era.
There was
somewhere in that
Ravnica.
It
era.
was Ravnica.
Devotion
was
Kamigawa was in,
Yeah.
but like that was like you had to have like everyone was playing those dumb dragons.
Like,
and the Jitty.
Yeah.
like
Dragon
a pre-con
Jitties.
beating a Jitty deck was beautiful.
Yeah, it was definitely something to behold.
He got enough of the. He had enough of the cards where he bought like the 40 card devotion deck and he got a couple of the cards to throw in it and
It worked.
he did good. But he basically just bought a deck off the shelf and played it. But yeah.
Devotion was Theros. I don't.
No,
the
it was
mechanic.
green white.
Yeah, never mind. The mechanic
It was a
devotion
green
was from
white,
Theros.
So
The deck was called
Yeah,
Devotion.
because
That's
you
right.
you had to do the you have to have you get mana based on the color of the thing that you're tapping. Or you get mana replacement or whatever, but it has to be for that card's ability.
Yeah,
You
that
play
was in
into
the
ability.
Theros block.
But they had it in Ravnica. It was in Ravnica.
but
They
anyway,
just
so that was,
they probably used it more than once.
so there we go.
Possibly.
Pet peeves.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I
I'd have
played
to
in
look at it.
Theros. It's been a long time though. I'm thinking of
So
Was Theros and Ravnica together at the same time?
No, Return to
Instead?
Ravnica.
No, Theros.
Return to Ravnica was.
Theros. Yeah.
Okay.
Theros
So
was like years after Ravnica.
Or Guild Pact or whatever. Guild
Fuck,
Pact.
I
Well, it was
not Guild Pact,
Ravnica,
but whatever,
then
it
it was
was
Guild
a-
Pact.
No, it was a Return.
Ravnica Dissension.
Ravnica Ascension Guild Pact, but it was the Return to Ravnica set. They went back to Ravnica once, and they're going back again. Whatever. Anyway,
Yeah, they just went
it
back
was
to- yeah.
Guild Gate or something like that. It was because they had all the gates.
Yeah,
in that
Guild
second.
Gate was the second of the Return.
I don't
to
know what the
Ravnica.
name of the set was, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not. Don't quote me.
So what you got, Lance? What you got for us?
Oh yeah,
I
Lance
I don't even know how
Russell.
long we're making.
What you were
this. This is
asking me
gonna
about
be too long.
pet peeve, and I already said.
This guy.
Okay. One D&D
Oh,
character you
no.
remember, but you get one.
Oh, okay.
Just
One
one
D&D character that I created that I
You
remember.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the story. Just
Can I break this real quick and just ask? I always DM'd, so can I make it a character from another role playing game or no?
you can do
Either
another role playing
that
game
or-
or a character that's not yours that you remember.
Okay, because I got a character that I played that was fun.
Okay.
Get to that. Okay.
Or I was going to say an NPC
Or-
that you made
Or
for
one
your campaign.
or one event in a campaign if you had like a generic
Yeah,
character.
that'll be what it falls in.
Oh,
So,
okay.
okay.
I've got an event. So, you want me to go first?
Yeah, you're first.
Okay.
You're up.
I
Look
remember.
at that part, Casey.
We
I
let
love
him
you.
finish.
So this campaign, the setting that I was in, I wanted to make a paladin with a warhammer, but later on down the line, I was going to get returning on my warhammer and returning on my shield, so I could be like a Cap Thor kind of thing. And before I ever got any of this stuff, this dude robs one of our party members, and he crawls on a roof to get away. And I chuck my shield at it, and apparently cut his legs off at the knee. Never got my shield back. It's stuck on the roof because I couldn't make my climbing check to go get it. So,
My frisbee stuck on the roof, Mom.
but thankfully it was just like a run-of-the-mill metal shield. And that's why it cut his legs off, because I nat 20'd my roll to trip him. He's like, yeah, you got us so good, he ain't got no legs from the knee down.
Okay. Mine was a campaign, and it's a newer-ish game. Only came out about several years ago. Begins with an I, has some L's in it. I think they turned it into a video game recently. Like, not Illuminati, something like that. It's like,
Dang, that was my first guess.
No, it's a newer-ish role-playing game, and I can't remember for the life of me what's called now. It was like in the mystical world. Like, it actually had a campaign that takes place in the Midwest, like around Sioux Falls, actually.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
stuff
kind
like
of
that.
neat.
Yeah, like a guy from that area actually wrote a campaign for it. Like, it was a published campaign. But in this campaign, in this game, we had to go up onto this satellite or the space station orbiting a star, and it was failing and slowly losing it. It was going to get sucked into the star. So it became a survivor story of, like, try to get as much done as you can, run off, probably people are going to die. It's a one-shot campaign. And so we got there, and me and another guy got injured during an explosion. We're limping behind. We're not going to make it. We blow out a wall. We're like, F it, the place is already crashing out. We blow out the wall, almost get caught up, and these guys jump through this portal to get back to Earth. And we're like, no way. And he's like, the portal's going to close, and we realize we can't close the gap before the portal closes. And I was like, screw this. I had some frag grenades on me. I'm chucking my damn belt of grenades through the portal. And everybody at that table pauses. And they go, are you fucking for real? I was like, my character, and it was in my character thing. I'm kind of like a vindictive asshole. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, I have no dedication to this character. You guys already survived the campaign. F this, I'm chucking my belt. And I throw a high-yield grenade through the deal, because he won't let me throw the whole belt. I just chuck a grenade through, and he's like, fine, roll it up. I nat on the land, I nat on the throw, and I nat on the explosion. And he's like,
full damage.
And he's like, dude, Dill would have been far enough away. I was like, no. No. They would have still been within 50 feet of this explosion. This thing has like an 80-yard range. And he's like, fine, roll for damage. I killed all of them. And he refused. He refused to accept it. He's like, no, that's dumb. You know, Eric, it's not all about you. I was like, fuck you. It's a one-shot campaign. We are literally in the last 2 minutes of the campaign. It's not like we're going to get rewards. It was a great story. They completed it. F them. This is the alternate ending. I killed their dumb asses because I'm vindictive and I'm going to burn up in the sun. And this guy got so mad at me. I'm dead serious. He let me play in this campaign one more time where you've been in these campaigns where guys get bogged down and be like, we're going to do this, 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 now we're going to do this. And it's like, oh my god, like 45 minutes later, I was like, can we do something? And we were staking out this house and they were taking forever, and I apparently couldn't come up with an idea. Like, I was like, all my ideas are getting shot down, and I was like, well, I'm clearly not going whatever pathway you want me to go down, and I'm trying to get hints from the player, and this DM, and I like this guy, but like, he and I were starting to have problems butting heads, I think, and finally I was like, screw it, I'm just going to shoot out his electrical box. Like, you can't just shoot an electrical box! And I was like, I just did. No, he knows that we're here. Yeah, and the power's out in his house and probably half the neighborhood, and you heard that. He's like, cops are going to show up. Well, then maybe now we'll have a reason to get this done in a hurry. And he got so mad at me, he kicked me out of his campaign permanently, and I was never allowed to game with him again. And that was a bummer. I think I actually lost, like, a permanent friendship. I'm dead serious. I think he quit being my friend because of those 2 campaign incidences, and I think that was a bummer because I was like, dude, they're just games, man.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not trying to ruin your campaign, but after 40 minutes of literally nothing happening in a campaign, I was like, what a waste of a campaign. I was like, I'm done. I couldn't do it. So if you're ever playing a role-playing game with folks, is there a reason why it's red now and not green?
The red is record.
Is it?
Yeah, blue is play, red is record.
Green.
We've had this discussion before, and we're having it again.
When?
Repetition triggered!
But
Not today, we haven't.
not today. But we had
I've never seen this program before.
Last time we used this program,
Nuh-uh.
it just looks, the UI is a little bit different.
Your UI a little bit different.
Thank you.
Urinary
So
tract.
anyway, if you're playing a D&D game or a role-playing game, don't spend 40 minutes doing nothing, and please stop your rule arguing. Every DM on Earth, I'm going to say this right now, you have the power to stop those arguments at your table dead track. If the DM says that doesn't sound right, the player should be allowed to go, hey, let me say this. If that rule book comes out from the player and it lasts longer than 5 minutes, DM, say no and walk away from it, or say yes and continue the game. But make sure to write, if you say yes, write that down.
Yes, and, yeah.
Yes, and.
Well, you got improv.
Oh,
So-
no, I know. But what I'm saying is, like, that and honestly, rule lawyers kill D&D 90%.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, if
Okay.
you're asking is one thing, but if you're dictating to the DM, that's completely different.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Well, I think it's one thing if you're like trying to do something with your character and you already talked about the DM, and as long as you're not being like a crybaby about it, you know, like I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like how many times have you been in a campaign where you say, oh, hey, I want to be a Horizon Walker and I'm going to be an elf and I want to use the special elf pet instead of the regular table pet. Can I do that? And then most DMs are going to be like, well, since you asked me, sure. Or they'll be like, well, we're not in that. We're in the city, so being a Horizon Walker is not going to help you out. You know, try to talk you out of it or whatever. But for all intents and purposes, everyone's there to have fun.
Yeah.
Everyone's there to, like, do a thing. So people who are just there to be rules lawyers or be like, well, technically, I didn't do anything wrong.
The second technically comes up, I stop the argument. technically is the most hated word in my dictionary.
Rules as written versus rules as intended has always been an argument, and the people online complain about murder hobos now. But the reason people complain about murder hobos is because there's too many people who have gotten in D&D and don't understand that it's fantasy and it's not. There are too many people who have gotten into like the technical rules of min-maxing. Versus,
I am so happy that that was my biggest complaint with 3.5. It was all about min-maxing. That's why, like 5th edition, they kind of pulled away from min-maxing.
Right.
It's possible a little bit now with all the campaign stuff, but I stopped that dead in its tracks.
Right. Well, and I mean, the thing is, like, if you want to do something fun in 5th, that is okay.
Yeah, and again, as a DM, you can easily stop min-maxing by doing every time. My player has too powerful a weapon, and rust monster, and problem solved.
Right.
Oh, I would hear it. Why? What are you doing? Detect evil? Yeah, it's a fucking animal. It's an animal. It has no positive or negative. It just wants to eat. And it's a creature designed to be stealthy and walk up and go nom 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 and walk away.
Right.
Oh, but good news, it left behind magical poop.
Yeah. So, like, I was going to do one, but I'm going to change it.
Oh, okay. What's up?
When we were doing...
Was it my campaign?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
That's why I'm changing it to, because I think it's funnier.
Oh, I thought you were changing it away from something.
No,
I was like, no, go ahead,
because I was going to do the one, but I'm going to do... We were doing that campaign that you were doing, and...
The Dark Sun one?
No, that was the one I was originally going to do, but I made a character earlier on, and I told you, like, I was worshipping, like, a certain deity that was, like, really evil, and it was, like, a secret... I made, like, a secret pact at the beginning of the game, because I was like, can I do Void as my deity?
I forgot about this.
Day one, I said, can I do Void as my deity? And you're
this is, to give people an idea, this is a game system I developed.
It's based on Hero Quest, the Hero Quest board, and then using Hero Quest dice.
So Lance decided to follow the most evil deity in the game.
And I was like, I just want to be a magical character, and I'm going to cast spells or whatever, and I'm not going to be like a main influencer or whatever. I'll let the players play. I just want to fart around and have fun. And so I was like, I want to be an evil character and do evil stuff, but I'm not going to... I feel like an evil character is evil for their own agenda, and your reasoning is what causes you to be evil, not because you're some sort of abhorrent monster. Like, there's a reason... If you can tell the DM why you're being evil, then you can be evil. Like, I believe
you aren't evil just to kill the kill.
Right. And
there's
so,
like,
I was like, in a sense, I was like a cultist, or I was like a person who had a belief system that was kind of contrary to what others would be. So it'd be like a dark fairy from like the D&D system would be a closest approximation, like the dark court, the night court.
Yeah.
And so I posed myself as just like a regular Fey type creature, and I would just like cast regular blessings and heal people, and kind of let the other players like take control of the wheel, like run the game for the most part. And I would just like do evil things every once in a while, just because I'm like, oh well, what does Void want me to do today? What is, what can I do that's evil today?
Right. You're doing little side rolls.
Little tiny evil things on the side, because that's what chaos really is. And so we got to the end of the campaign. Everyone got all their things. Everyone got run. We were about to fight the final boss, and they had like everyone got one wish, and we had people wishing for like the ultimate magic spell, and I want the ultimate ally to help me fight the final boss, and I want the ultimate final weapon. And then it gets to me, and it's like, and then they all had to roll for their stuff because it was all super awesome and cool. And like,
they didn't just get it; they had to earn that shit through a roll.
And I got to mine. I'm like, I want something that I don't have to roll for. I wish we never got here.
And he reset the campaign to day one, and this was months of gaming.
Oh my gosh!
Months of gaming, and this asshole straight up hoses the entire...
They got to do all their other stuff.
It was so beautiful.
And I want to point out, like, I wasn't invading on their other stuff.
No.
I was letting them do everything.
No one saw that shit coming. They all were like, ha 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 ha. And then Lance just stared at me. I was like, all right.
But
then they were like,
I didn't know if I didn't feel like I was going to upend the whole thing. I just wanted to... I wanted to be like, well, what's the most evil thing to do right now? And that was it.
That was
But
really it.
like, I started off the campaign. I made it clear at the DM what I was doing. Eric pointed out that anyone can have any alignment, and there were people that fell into it. There was a guy, like that one guy was like killing people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't do any of that stuff. I wasn't going out slaughtering people, and the rest of the party was okay with these other things happening. So I want to point out there's a lot of caveats going on here where like people are like, this is alarm bells. This guy ruined the campaign. I didn't ruin the campaign.
No, you ruined shit. Imagine getting, it was just like reading a great story and then the last page of the book is missing and you're like, wait, what?
And then he
I shouldn't say last page, like just the last chapter.
Well, it's as if like everyone was gonna do their thing and then you find it's like a mystery novel and then the bad guy wins the mystery novel. It's like it's why that one Sherlock Holmes book is controversial because you don't know if him and Moriarty survived.
Yeah, there you go.
But I like that. I think that's fun. And I like people were upset, but at the same time they remember it. And no one seemed like legitimately like permanently mad about it.
Yeah.
So I feel like my decision is somewhat acceptable, even if like someone's like, "What a heel, what a horrible person." But at the same time, like I don't usually play characters like that. I wanted to do it for fun, and it was all cleared. It was all it's all above board. It's not like I'm just sneaking around and doing it because I can, and technically I did. It's because I talked about it beforehand. Everyone got what they wanted. Like people were doing the thing they were doing. It was all free flow. It was all all good. So I feel like I'm in the right. And if you think I'm wrong, then I don't know. Put in the comments and call me a monster. Whatever. You're a monster. You're all monsters. I don't know. That's probably
whisper up from the gutters. Save us. And I'll whisper. No.
I'll whisper.
I
wish we weren't here.
That line will make my wife cry. She is like literally. I've been like, Amy, can you get me a pop? And he looked up from his computer, asking for a pop, and I'll look at him and go, no, walk away.
Oh.
Ransom is first. Oh, you can call it that name if you want. Is the 20th odd person to get a hold of me and be like, look at all these Godzilla laser discs that are for sale. They have to be like, yep, I know they're for sale. And he wants like 30 damn bucks a piece on it, which is ridiculous.
Let me just put in my Laserdisc player. Hold on, let me.
I'm a collector and I just hang them.
Let me convert my Betamax so I can play these Laserdiscs.
I just like them, so
it's just funny.
Like I was gonna buy the Star Wars trilogy Laserdiscs just because the.
Well, I just want the.
Sleeves are awesome.
Well,
I want the Biolante one.
Cut on them.
I want the Biolante one he has there, except it because that was the first time that was ever available. That was the first time they did something on digital format, but that and it's the only one with the full cover artwork.
Laserdisc isn't digital.
Oh, fair enough. There we go.
Technically analog.
But the Biolante cover gives the entire poster artwork. The VHS.
Why it's so damn big.
It was a big piece of artwork. The VHS is cut off.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
But again, $30 for a Laserdisc is way too much on those. At max, they go for that sealed. His stuff there should be like I'm gonna go there one day with like $3 a piece. I'm like, these have been sitting here for literally 2 years now. Give me all these for $50.
I was explaining like shelf cost to someone. Like,
I better know who. Continue.
And it was like one of those things where like, well, how come? It's like you have these things that are collectible, don't they appreciate value? It's like they do, but they're not worth anything if you don't trade them for something else. And the only things that actually are worth something than value are something that causes someone to buy something else.
I forgot the name of it. Taffer on Bar Rescue actually had a term for that. It's like dead shelf weight.
Right. Like if I had an Action Comics #1, yeah, it's worth a lot of money, and I wouldn't want to sell it, but I'd put it on the shelf because then people will come in and look at it, and then buy something else.
I had people all the time who were like, Eric, how are you selling that for that price? Aren't you losing money? And be like, yeah, I took a loss on this one, but I made up that loss on other product. Also, I don't want to have this stupid $80 item sitting on my shelf for 3 months. Eventually, I've seen shops that have had the same item on for a shelf, and this is not an exaggeration, for anywhere from 10 to 15 years.
Yeah,
guys, literally a person's, like a young child to his time that he's like, okay, I'm gonna go graduate now, and be like, that statue is still there at $300, and you'd be like, yo, I'll shoot you $200. I need 300. I'm like,
Yeah,
in 15 years, you've made your money back. You can give that away, and you're not really at a loss.
Right, and then like I was explaining that to someone else, where because like they were talking about like, well, how come I can sell X thing for Y amount of money or
gas station. A gas station's gas brings you in. That's not where the profit is.
They were asking me about like when I worked
else.
with the one here in Watertown. I was like, well, how come you're selling these cards for like $Z? It's like, well, we could do that then because there's other people that buy packs.
Okay, so whose turn was it for questions?
I just went.
So it'd be Devin. Devlin?
Devlin Bowman.
Yeah. Dude, I still have like 4 questions left. I say we wrap it up.
Okay, so
okay, that was a good question. Wrapped. Go ahead.
Like, subscribe,
What do you
hit the bell.
No, ask your
No,
question.
ask your question.
Are we gonna ask a closing question? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I suppose since it's pretty much out of the realm of everything else we've talked about, let's go with favorite music. As far,
man, we talked about best decades, so
I know.
Questions, so
we didn't really hit.
Lance was like, "I'm gonna make them all nerd related, not telling." But
well, I mean, we basically touched on everything else: comics, movies. We haven't really said anything about music, so I'm gonna go with favorite music, whether it be genre, artist, album, whatever, song.
Go ahead.
Favorite music. I guess I listen to a lot of different things, so it's just like it's a wide variety.
What do you listen to the most then? What's your default that you put on first?
Something you can chill to. Right now I'm listening to a lot of Tame Impala, but it's stuff that's kind of slow electronic, but there's also traditional instruments involved as well, and inspired by a few other things. I don't know, stuff that kind of gives me time to think, stuff that lets me kind of, because I'm not a musical protege or anything. I'm not like a musician myself. I'm not very good at making music, so it's something where like I like to break things down, but if I don't know anything about it, I have to go nice and slow and easy to figure out what's happening. And there's a lot of music like that I've been listening to lately. The other thing I've been listening to a lot of is like 70s, 80s, Japanese jazz fusion. That's been pretty good. And that's just because it's actually just easy to get access to. Like, you can find it all over. And then otherwise, whatever's on my Pandora. So punk, metal, some rap, mostly like 90s rap.
Before it turned more into pop?
Before it became like a pop thing, yeah. Like when it was like a pop. Now it's like a pop affair. It's just not. It's not the same.
Yeah, it seems like everything kind of turned into more of a pop thing than anything else.
I don't know. That's the other thing is like I'm not big into like stuff that's popular right now. Like other years when whatever was popular, like I was totally into, and I mean like recently, like I just moved away from it. It's just not the same. Like when I came back to South Dakota from basic, they were like I was listening to a lot of Friendly Fires and MGMT and stuff like that, where it was like definitely like faster electronic stuff, but
MGMT is always good.
Yeah, and so like I like electronic stuff because you can make new sounds and you can still make something similar to a traditional sound if you do the right things. But I do like some traditional music, and I do like using like traditional instruments and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna say that that's bad or wrong, and I will still listen to that. I've been listening to a lot of like weird electronic stuff lately, I guess.
Okay.
Cool.
I can't really tell you my favorite genre. I was just looking through my playlist here on YouTube. I have like 700 liked videos, and over 650 of them are actually music videos. I listen to literally every genre, every age. I tend not to listen to a lot of classical, not because it's just, to me, it's been done to death. I mean, it's just, it's not that I don't like it. I can listen to it. It's just not my favorite genre. The only thing you won't find on here is like modern country. So I would think like I always kind of considered like the like late 80s, early 90s was kind of the death of like the old school sound of country.
Yeah.
But I can listen to like the Family Guy joke. Here's kind of way tweet. I can listen to that all day. Never bothered me. But I don't like modern country, and you'll never hear gospel on this playlist. Otherwise, it is literally anything from J-rock, K-pop to I have opera on here. I have death metal. I have pop music. I have all sorts of stuff. Favorite song ever is a song by Incubus called Aqueous Transmissions.
Okay, cool.
There's it's a song that got me through a rough time. I know it's so stereotypical, but I think that's a good thing for music in that case. And to me, it might be one of the best blends of vocals and music and harmony. And it's just that song can literally put me to sleep in a good way. Like if I'm super stressed, I'll like put on some headphones and just turn it up a bit, and it calms me down. And then I'm going to be honest with you guys, like, I have a guilty pleasure right now on twofold. Ironically, I hate... What's that game with the Jinx? Is that Overwatch? No.
It's League of Legends, I think.
League of Legends, there we go. Sorry, God, that's going to blow up. If that ever gets out, oh my God, that
I couldn't think of anything beyond
League of
Pokemon.
Legends, as far as I'm concerned, is just boring trash. Ironically, they keep putting out music videos with their characters, but they're good.
Yeah.
So, like, there's, like, a music video called, like, Get Jinxed that was, like, for introduction for a character. And recently they created a K-pop group called KDA. Holy Christ. It is amazing. It shouldn't be that good. And then another guilty pleasure I have right now, a current artist named Charlie XCX. I am absolute in love with her voice. She has she can have a wide range, but she has kind of a deeper voice that I really like. And she has a lot of music videos, so... She like did a crossover with a Japanese K-pop group called Crazy Crazy. Panyo Panyo, or not Panyo Panyo. Yeah, it might have been the girl who did the Panyo Panyo video. So, yeah,
cool.
And then anything 1980s, I think, like Lance and I know agree with his Miami Vice shirts. Like, the 80s, goddamn, are way up our Jimmy Jams.
Yeah.
I love them. How about you, man?
I listened to a couple.
Boo! Go ahead.
I don't have my Majin hat on. You can't do that.
Okay, go ahead, man. Sorry.
I listen to a lot of random stuff too, I guess. Pretty much the same as you guys. I don't really listen to country. I don't really listen to the newer rap stuff. Anything poppy, I don't... I mean, I'm not going to say I don't listen to it because I just turn on my radio. I'm old school. I don't have...
And to be clear here, too,
anything.
for the younger viewers, when he says poppy, he isn't talking about the artist Poppy.
Yeah.
He means pop music.
Didn't even know that Poppy was a music artist.
There's a musical YouTube sensation known as Poppy, and she does a series of videos that are political. Not political, they're like commentary about modern culture, and then she also has music. She's a top-selling artist right now, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Knew nothing about it. I don't watch news anymore for specific reasons, but it's mostly basic. The stuff that was big when we were in school, well, I guess when I was in school in the 90s,
You're a baby.
is, I'm still kind of a baby. I'm the baby of the group.
You are
but,
the baby.
90s music kind of hits it for me. I mean, some Daft Punk, not hard-hitting techno beats, but one of the more obscure things I listen to is Dr. Steele. I don't know if anybody knows about that.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of what it is for me. It's mostly rock stuff, I guess.
Least favorite musician. Like, what's the first thing you think of when you think least favorite musician?
I don't memorize musicians.
Okay, Lance?
Like right now?
Just in general, like, I say least favorite musician, what comes to your head?
I think the stuff right now that just really turns me off when music comes on is probably Imagine Dragons.
Really?
They turn
You caught me off guard on that one.
They just like they had like one song that I've liked, and ever since then, like every single song has just really been a big turn off for me. And it's not. I don't know if they're bad. I can't say that. It just hasn't been. I haven't had a groove from them. Even that what's that new song? like Alive or whatever.
No idea.
Animal or
I'm terrible with new
I
song
haven't
names.
kept up with their new shit.
Whatever.
Last
Anyway,
song
like
I-
they had a YouTube video pop up and it was on the radio, and I'm just like, this is just. It's just like I don't like it, and like I said, if it's your jam, it's cool. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Not gonna.
I mean, our opinions
Not
are
gonna hate it, but I it's not. That's
Lance
not mine.
will. I won't. I mean.
Yeah, and other than that, because even like honestly, like there have been a couple songs like by Justin Bieber that have at least been like listenable. Like they've had a good,
Sure.
they have a good beat. They've been well produced. There's a good mix of other artists that are involved, and it's not just the one thing. Like people like to rag on them, but I think a lot of people just jealous because he's famous.
I think I can separate music from the individual.
Sure.
That's part of the reason
and
why
then
I don't
you have to-
memorize
you have to-
group names.
You have to kill the artist. I mean, that's just what it is. Not literally,
Yeah.
but like you have to separate the artist from what they create, because otherwise you're gonna have this like Louis C.K. thing where you're like, is comedy funny anymore? I don't know. I can't laugh at a joke because some guy's a jerk. It's go back in time 40 years. And do you like the Rolling Stones anymore when you find out that so-and-so or such and such is on whatever drug? You know, it's like, do you? I don't know. It's up to you. But for me, it's like, is there meaning in that music? Is there something there that you can latch onto? And if it's not there, then it's not for me. And that, I guess the other thing is like, that's why I don't, like if I turn on to a country music station, I just turn it off immediately because they don't play anything that
It sounds to me, I'd like just be a pop station at this point.
yeah.
I was on a country station for 20 minutes one day, and I didn't realize I was listening to country until I got to the advertisements. It was 4 farm ads in a row. I was like, oh, am I listening to country music? Because it doesn't sound like country music now.
Country music now is like pop music 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, and that's what it is. It's exactly what it is. I'm gonna say
Yeah, they don't even play like folk music on there anymore. Like I like folk music. I
love folk music. Dude. I can dig
there's
folk
that
music.
lady who just got like 6 Grammys or whatever, and she makes a lot of great songs, but you like they don't play her on the country music station, so why do I care?
I would have said at some point in time, probably like this is so unpopular. I was just talking about this the other day too. It's like I can't stand AC/DC and Kiss. I despise them.
Sure.
For me, they're just not fits. But I went to a fair last year with my wife. I don't normally go out to concerts. I'm not a big group crowd person anymore. Feel like I've gotten old in my age at that one.
Yeah.
And there was a band called Skillet. They're kind of a religious rock band. Again, not dissing. This is your thing. Because I tell you what, they filled that. That's the most people I've... Oh, more than any other concert. More than any concert I've ever seen. That stadium was jam-packed. The floor level, which is a dirt racetrack, wall-to-wall people. Like, it's the most... There were... God, I forgot how many thousands upon thousands of people were there. But for a county where there's only 35,000 people living in the whole damn county... There had to have been close to 7,000 people there, I think. There had to have been. I don't know how there couldn't have been. I don't know the exact numbers. So again, clearly they're making money. They're a popular band.
Right.
I have never been to a concert, rock event, band event in my life. And I'll even throw karaoke into this mix. Where I haven't at least tapped my toe a little bit. From start to finish. This was me. Just sitting here. Going, oh my god, is this really happening? This is garbage. Like, and people screaming around. It was so bad. Even my wife halfway through was like, all right, I almost want to just leave. I was like, we paid money for this. I swear to God, we're just going to sit through it. And we eventually just, like, we got bored. During a concert, we got bored. They kept going, like, okay, we're going to do a couple of encores. And my wife was like, I just want to go. I was like, sounds good. And we got up and left. I have been to small little bars where a band is playing. Could be country music. Could be modern country music. At least I'm like, yeah, I can enjoy it. I have been to garage bands. Literally somebody playing out of the garage with like a bunch of people partying out in their driveway in the country. Enjoy the music. Karaoke, I've been to places where somebody, even if they're off tune, you'd be like, yeah, whatever, it's a great song. Everybody help the guy sing. Thousands upon thousands of people. And I was just going like, this is the worst concert I have ever witnessed. They had cool stage mechanics. They had great... Like, they were excellent with talking with the crowd, but I was just like... And I think a lot of people go like, well, you're not very... Blah, 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 blah. Like, it has nothing to do with the religious angle. Just the presentation was poor. It was just like, yep. Oh, and I don't... And it might have been, too, because they're just up and coming at that time. But they kept coming out, like, every third song, like, "Where are Skillet?" I'm like, "We know you're the headliner. You don't need to tell me for the 4th time who you are. You literally have a crowd of thousands of people here. They know who you are. Stop it." I'd be like going to a movie and be like, halfway through Transformers, it's like, Transformers. Like, I know it was at the title credit. I have it on my ticket here, man. It was on the marquee out front.
We're going to do something about these robots. Let's call them
Transformers.
Man, even the cane transformed in that movie.
Everything's a Transformer.
That dog. Where'd that dog come from? Hate to break it to you, that's a Transformer.
There's that. I bet that tank's a Transformer. Oh my god, that tank's a Transformer.
Where's all this electricity come from? A Transformer!
No, there's no.
The Transformer even
electricity
transformed. Fuck you guys. Yeah, no. Shaky and I went to the latest Transformers movie.
Transformers 5, baby.
Yeah, Transformers, the last night, or whatever.
Here's a hint. I don't have the exact time code. If I could look it up right now, just skip ahead to where Marky Mark brings the girl into his trailer house to get because this girl hitchhikes. That sounds dirty.
Oh god, yeah, you just made it sound like a porno.
Anyway, Marky Mark and the hero girl get to the trailer house, and there are baby Dinobots. That was the only part of the movie I enjoyed.
Yep, that was the best part.
I would say I enjoyed the end credits, but I think we walked out while they were running.
Probably. And I mean, Grimlock eating the police car, that was pretty funny.
I didn't even enjoy that.
Oh.
I liked the baby Dinobots.
Oh, yeah, when the pterodactyl, whatever it's called, went
little
to grab a
down
beer.
here crashes into the fridge, comes back. Alright, we gotta work on that delivery, man.
That's alright, though. But yeah, we just ripped that. That
It was
film
the worst film ever.
to pieces, and it was
Christ, it was horrible.
It was a Mystery Science Theater 3000.
In the future, it'll be EGOT level Mystery Science.
Right.
Remember, Lance? EGOT.
So
What movie was it? Like, how are we gonna kill this monster? Sodium.
Yeah.
Sodium. Oh my god. Salt will work. I've been saying that this whole time. There's an MST.
Evolution? Oh.
No, there's an
MST.
MST3K movie where they're making fun of like some monster movie. The way to kill the monster is with salt.
Crow keeps saying sodium throughout the whole episode.
Literally, like 10 minutes into it, he's like, I bet. Oh, it was because the guy's in a kitchen and he has salt.
Yeah.
He's like, sodium. I bet that'll play into sodium. And he just keeps saying sodium.
Sodium.
And he doesn't stop the whole movie for an hour. He just keeps going sodium. If only we could find a way to stop this monster. Sodium! Huh, this monster's allergic to it. And then both the other people are like, oh, hey, look, sodium. I've been saying that the whole time.
Why won't you guys listen to me?
Come on. It's so stupid. So Lance, what do you think?
Closing statements?
But what was your band that you hate?
Oh.
Yeah.
What's...
I interrupted you.
What's the one that goes scoopity whoopty poop at the end of the song?
Oh, Nicki Minaj.
Sure.
No,
Whoever
was that rapper guy. What?
I don't know.
Scoopity whoopity poop.
Yeah, scoopty whoopty poop.
You top dog, I'm top ramen. You top ramen, I'm top dog.
Like, if I would have known that's all I had to do...
Is it Lift Yourself, Scoopty Whoop?
I don't know.
Oh my god, no, hang on. This is a song. Hang on.
I'm gonna cut this part
You
out.
better cut this part out.
Yeah, gonna have
It's
to.
not gonna be in here. You guys aren't gonna hear the song. You guys can look it up on your own damn time.
Very
new
good
Kanye.
person to hate.
New Kanye has just been
New
a mess.
Kanye's god.
And you know what? No politics. All that aside, just his album's just been crap. That one I was making fun of earlier today that he does with Lil Pump.
Kim?
Lil
Pump.
Yeah, that song is so stupid. And there's no lyrics to the song. And Kanye's just sitting there like, yeah. And then in the end he's like...
No, like new Kanye is garbage. Again, politics aside.
Yeah.
Early Kanye, he was a musician. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And now I go, well, you know what he is? He's going through a Steven Spielberg late phase where he's just destroying his own stuff.
Either that, or he's just playing the PR game. Any PR is good PR.
Maybe?
I don't know. He's insane. He's gone too far. You know what's great? See, P. Diddy was going to start getting to that phase, and I think he realized that, so he's like, I'm just going to go backseat and do business.
Yeah, I'm just going to...
I'm done. Let's just do producing. And he's like, "Oh, this is so much like less stress."
I think because before like Kanye had like he had some ground to stand on when he's like, I'm an artist, I'm a genius, and I have these albums that people just don't understand. And you could go back and be like, yeah, a lot of that like you have to think about it. And it is about something if you try hard enough, And then it gets to now, it's like, no.
Scoopity whoop. I had to look it up. I literally typed in what you said, scoopity whoop de poop, and that's what came up.
My turning point on Kanye was when Seth Rogen and James Franco did the parody of that video he did with Kim Kardashian.
I still have not seen that
the
yet.
one where they were riding naked on a motorcycle.
And the hair's blowing the wrong direction. That's the only thing was I watched that and I was like, why is her hair blowing?
I was like, this is a better music video with James Franco and Seth Rogen than the Kanye video.
That was around the time South Park was doing their good, Hobbit bit, too.
Oh, is South Park still a thing?
I don't know.
Yeah. They're pretty much done, though. I think...
I was going to say, I know Simpsons is going on another
I feel
season.
like South Park, and this is, hot take, whatever. I feel like South Park should have ended when they had, like, the Stan has Asperger's episode.
I feel like they had a couple of better seasons later than that,
but because that was the one where they're like they had a clean exit.
Sure.
Where they're like, okay, well, this isn't about the kids anymore. This is about X person or Y person.
Well, and they've been trying to cancel that show forever. They've been trying to get canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but at the same time, if somebody comes up and drops a few mil in your pocket, are you really going to be like, no?
Right.
You're going to go, oh, this is a few $1 million in my pocket. Right. I guess I'll keep beating this. However, this season, I quit watching about 6 episodes into it because I was like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
And it's the first time. And I mean, sometimes there's a hit or miss, but I was like 3 episodes in a row. I was like, and enjoy this. So for the first time ever in South Park, and I don't think I've outgrown South Park. I've been like, it's bored. I did that with Simpsons about 14, 15 seasons in. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm that way right now with Doctor Who. I'm bored.
I feel like
and it's not because of, again, politics, anything.
No.
I got bored because, like I said earlier...
too long a break?
They took too long of a break. I don't even know if I'm going to enjoy the final season of Game of Thrones simply because I'm like, I don't remember where I'm at in the story.
I know, right? I should have been binge watching season 1 to season 7.
See, and now I have to re-binge watch because there's a lot of Game of Thrones... Game of Thrones to me will probably be something I'll never go back and rewatch an episode of.
Yeah.
Not because it's bad. To me, I just like... There's certain things like... Okay, my favorite book ever is Homer's The Odyssey. Mm-hmm. I only read it about once every 10 years. Not because I hate it. It's just... It's such a great epic. I like to relive that epic only once. So probably in about 10 years, I'll sit down and rewatch all of Game of Thrones so I can re-enjoy that epic. But I don't need to see it all. I don't know. It's just the rewatchability for me isn't there.
Well, there's a meta in TV right now, especially with like the Netflix and the bingification of television, as it were. And I feel like there are too many producers, too many writers who are insistent that are reliant. I'd say reliant is a better term. They're reliant upon this concept that they have these rabid fan bases who are constantly watching and rewatching their show.
Oh yeah.
Instead of like just taking a fresh take at what's going on, so they're looking for all this granular minutia to go through and to break down and to break apart to determine what's actually going on and what they're making, instead of like just working on making something new and trying to make a better television show. And I think that's part of why we have TV that's been going on as long as we have. That's why there's like almost 30 seasons of The Simpsons, if not 30. That's why we've had 20-some seasons of South Park. That's why there's like 20-some seasons of Family Guy and 20-some seasons of Big Bang Theory. Like the reason a lot of these shows go on so long, it's not because they're... I wouldn't say it's because they're good. I think they've outlived the originalness that's in them. Normally, you get like a spin-off show, and the other one would be canceled, a la Golden Girls, Empty Nest kind of thing.
Let's go into the Andy Griffith saga, which spawned 8 different shows.
Right, and so like in a different age of TV, when it was harder to watch a show, and it was like you had to get something syndicated to figure out what was going on with it. there was more going on, and you got to see things break down. You got to see new characters do new things. That doesn't exist anymore, and I feel like part of that's because like they have to keep pumping out this new content. They don't know how to react to the audience the way they used to. I feel like they're reacting appropriately, but I feel like they're too reliant upon a rabid audience.
My other problem is certain series need to learn to stop. I'm a big fan of maxi series, Cowboy Bebop, not Vasha Stampede. What was the title of that? Trigun. I love maxi series. It can end at a happy or a sad note. I don't care.
Yeah.
Stranger Things is something I like season 2. Season 3, I don't even know if I'm gonna bother. I'll probably watch just to see where the story goes.
Yeah.
But I'm done with these characters.
Yeah.
And it's and people are like, but it was so good. I'm like, dude, it was lightning in a bottle good, but just leave it the fuck alone. It was great. I rewatched season 1 like 20 times. I've only watched season 2 once. I was like, I don't care. The story's done. I don't care.
Here's. You say it's lightning in a bottle. I want to bring something up.
Okay.
That I feel this is reminiscent. So, the Halloween movies went Halloween 1, Halloween 2,
right,
and those both had Michael Myers in them.
Yep.
Halloween 3 was this other story because John Carpenter wanted the Halloween series because it's not called Michael Myers. It's called Halloween.
Right.
John Carpenter wanted an anthology movie series about things that happen on Halloween.
Right.
He wants a spooky Halloween movie series that he can
it just
throw
his
dumb
Halloween,
scripts at every once in a while and make a fun, scary movie. When they pitched Stranger Things, they were saying this is like a Steven Spielberg, this is Stephen King-esque, reminiscent Stephen King series, but we want to make it so that after this, we're not following these kids. This is a different story somewhere else. This is an anthology of different seasons. And when they went back to the kids on season 2, that's kind of like Halloween 2 being about Michael Myers, and you're confusing your audience because now, like, it just has to be about the kids from now on.
Oh, yeah. See, and that's the thing, too, is I don't... But also the premise to me, I wish they would have not touched on.
Right, they should have stayed out of the Upside Down.
The Upside Down. They should have left that alone.
Yeah.
They should have walked away from the characters. And it's like, man.
They have a universe where people have psychic powers and the government's tracking you in the 1980s. Like, they have a universe where the government has a secret agency and they can go around and do other things. Like,
let's explore this agency.
Let's explore this agency,
right.
Or maybe the agency is the access point and they're the big evil.
And see, and I'm hoping with this next season that we get more of that because it's that mall now.
Right. Mm-hmm. So like what? Yeah. So like, what if there's a season where you're in a different part of the country and this agency is located there, and they're looking for different special kids? Or what if the agency screws up a different town for a different reason? They don't take them to the Upside Down. They take them somewhere else.
Another thing for Stranger Things for me was watching these characters, these actors, like the kids. Jesus, amazing acting from these kids. Breakout roles for all these kids. Winona Ryder is one of my favorite actresses, so to see her kind of get her redemption finally, she pulled herself out of a hole. And you can see in the first few episodes she's struggling as an actress, but she nails that character by the 3rd and 4th episodes. The other thing is the sheriff dude. He's from Walking Dead, right? Or no?
No.
What is he from? The sheriff dude.
I don't remember.
I gotta look this up because I know he's from something that I thought he's not Rick Grimes, is he?
No.
Is he from Fear the Walking Dead, maybe? I'm not sure. I haven't watched either series of those because as much as I do love zombies, I like zombies in medieval era. That's why my my character of choice in World of Warcraft is undead.
Oh, I was gonna say a Worgen.
I do like Worgens. I had a Worgen warrior.
What was he worried about?
What was he worried? I don't know yet. About his people being subjugated.
Worried about being Worgen?
But I'm.
I worry about snakes selling them bad cosplay masks.
Probably. But yeah, I've seen the first maybe 4 or 5 episodes of Stranger Things, and I want to keep watching it, but I just never go back to it.
Mhm.
And American Horror Story does what we're talking about.
Yeah, American Horror
And
Story does exactly what I want in the
Yep.
series, where it's like they take the same characters, but they do something different with them every season.
Right. It's
Okay,
the same
here's some-
actors, but completely different characters. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
And I guess now they're starting to link everything up. I don't know. I'm only on season 3, so.
Mm-hmm.
He was from like Suicide Squad and stuff. Maybe that's where I was getting confused. Anyway, but like, so this guy is normally a guy where I'm like, meh.
Mm-hmm.
And I've enjoyed him as that sheriff character. There was just, for me, it was a great series. But then by time series 2, American Horror Story is another one where I was like, God, I love this. And the second season, was, by third season, the thing that made it fun for me was like, it was like going to your local theater house and watching all your friends. Because if you go to a local theater house, you see the same people and the same.
Yeah, but they got different.
But they got different roles, so you're like, oh, this is fucking
this
great.
week we're doing the Tempest.
But then there was, they started kind of dragging it out and beating a dead horse, so I quit watching in the Witch season.
Yeah.
I've been told there's a politics season where, like, I've had many people walk up and not boo politics, they're like, dude, they just beat a dead horse, so, like, they have to be so on the nose, it's not fun. But then somebody told me they went back, like, I guess the late seasons, they're covering, there's like a demon child. There's a demon child, so they're going back to like season 2 and 3 and stuff in season 1. And so I'm like, that's cool. But also it felt very Stephen King-y for me, so we're off topic. I don't know, man. Like, just that show was fun because of that, but like, it felt very Stephen King-ish because they always had like a third plot going on in the background. I'm like, why is this in the story?
Yeah.
What was the one where like the insane asylum,
Oh,
and then they're like,
where
and
there's
aliens.
Aliens, the doctor experimenting on people.
Yeah, and then like angels and like
angels, yeah.
and then a serial killer in modern day, and I'm like, cool. It's a lot of plot points to cover in like 14 episodes.
No, don't worry about some of them.
I feel like if they made the aliens thing its own season,
that would have been great.
Or even the aliens and the doctor thing, take those two and make them their own season.
And what sounds like
thing,
what it sounds like you want, Devin, is for them to make a Silent Hill series, and it's the dog did it.
Shit, I didn't even think about that.
Okay, so Lance, this was your baby project to get these podcasts going again. We used to do them for my shop Flashbacks back in the day, and that was a lot of fun. I think people enjoyed them, and you and I have been wanting to do something forever. Devin's been wanting to do. Devin and I have done stuff in the past, and we've kind of fallen out of habit. Life catches up with you on that. And,
life and things and such.
So I think this is going to be kind of our new venture, if Lance or Devin want to say anything.
So I'm going to try to make this a weekly. But I'd like to do things later on that we can do live.
Maybe once a month live.
I would like to do like at least do a movie or something. And these are going to be more planned out. I know like the first couple that I get cut out of this are kind of us just doing intro stuff and kind of just
more focused,
veering off of weird junk. But I do want us to be able to research and kind of the next time we get together, I'd like to talk about G.I. Joe movies and this hanging if of G.I. Joe 3. Is there going to be another G.I. Joe movie 3? If there is, what's it going to be about? And so I think that's going to be kind of like the main piece.
But yeah, thanks for listening. Tune in next time where we talk about G.I. Joe stuff. Hit that like button.
Yeah, and but that like and subscribe, I know it's done on every channel on Earth, but that's a real thing.